at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. We got updates which lead to the question of what the 49ers game plan is, and we're going to get all into that. I'm excited because we're on the eve of 49ers versus Green Bay, and I'm excited because I want the 49ers to go 3-0. I'm ready to put down Aaron Rodgers. It's time to make it happen.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. Cutback crew, hit that like button as well. Make it happen over there. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the Cutback crew, growing ever so close to 2,000 subs. 2K Cutback. Remember when we were celebrating 1,000? It felt like it was yesterday. So make sure you join the Cutback crew today. And let's get into this, though. Let's talk about this big news, breaking news yesterday, but still breaking news, right? Trey Sermon is freaking cleared. The running back room is set. Nothing to worry about now, 49ers fans. You got a bell cow for Sunday. How are you feeling about Sermon being cleared?
Well, I'm very excited that Sermon's cleared. It's not like all the worries in the world went away. This does make a big difference, though, because there was a lot of concerns about what this running back room would look like, and thoughts in my mind were running that without Sermon, without Mitchell, you might have a complete makeshift team. A ragtag part of individuals that you pretty much just went and grabbed off the street and threw out there that have no understanding of Kyle Shanahan's system. The guys that have the most understanding of it are Trenton Cannon and Kerryon Johnson, and they've been there a week. And that's what we were going to run into. So the fact that Trey Sermon is cleared and ready to go and presumably ready to make a lot of carries in this football game is a good sign for the 49ers, because one of the things that they need to do in this game is run the football. So, I'm not going to get too ahead of ourselves right now because we're talking about the players that are going to be active and stuff. But this is big-time news. The 49ers needed this to happen. Coming out of Sunday, I was worried about this possibility of this happening because you never know how long a player is going to be out of concussion protocol. But it worked out this time, and Trey Sermon's good to go, and good. We'll get to see what Trey Sermon can do, and maybe we'll get to see what Trey Sermon can do to Tyler Minting's Packers.
Important. It's very important. And look, this is something that's a big for the 49ers. It's a huge sigh of relief, the fact that you're going to at least have one guy available that was actually part of this running back room heading into the season.
Yeah.
Having one guy that you can rely on, and not just that, for 49ers fans also. I think 49ers fans feel a lot better about this than maybe the coaching staff does, because 49ers fans, Trey Sermon was 1B to Mostert's 1A to start the year off.
True.
So Trey Sermon being cleared, being able to go, maybe 49ers fans feel like this, right? We're good. We're set. Roster's fine. You don't have anything to worry about with the running back room. You can hand this guy the ball 20 times, and we're good to go.
I don't think anyone actually thinks.
I hope not. I hope no one actually thinks that.
I think they can feel very good about Trey Sermon. I think there's a lot of people that are very excited about that. But overall room,
no. Single running back, baby.
Yeah. Single running back. There's
yes.
a lot of people that are excited. Yes. 100%.
I know. I'm excited because I wanted to see this guy run and get the opportunity. And all this really does now is one of two things. Trey Sermon's either going to get exposed as a runner in this system, and we'll understand why Kyle Shanahan moved him so far down the depth chart, or he's going to rise to the occasion and solidify himself as one of the best backs in this running back room, which now is going to bring up the question maybe even later on and potentially. Oh my gosh, Luna with the 149 super chat. Thank you so much for that, my guy.
Yeah,
that must be on something else that's going on right now. I don't know, because it isn't that right now. It isn't us. But look. At the end of the day, this is going to be very important. It's going to be very crucial that we are able to kind of just get a better look at what this running back room looks like now with Sermon overall once everyone's healthy. That's the good news. All these guys are going to be coming back. But it also potentially leads to the situation now where Kyle Shanahan has two backs that he can fully reliably trust if Trey Sermon can step up to the task of being the lead horse and being the workhorse for this 49ers room. So this is a better move for the future. It's a great thing for this immediate game, absolutely, having a guy that you can at least rely on, because Elijah Mitchell's questionable. He's doubtful, excuse me.
He's doubtful.
He's doubtful. He had limited practice today, so he did get something in, but it wasn't a lot. But limited practice, still doubtful. It's all going to come down to pain. I'd still say this is 50-50. I don't think this is like 35-75 not in favor of him playing. I still say it's 50-50 because Kyle has said as much. It comes down to Payne. Doubtful because Payne probably isn't going away or it's not getting any better. But again, he could wake up Sunday and be like, oh, hey, I'm good. Or he could be bad all the way up until noon on Sunday and then be like, oh, hey, I'm fine. So we'll see what happens.
I would say it's more like 40-60.
You think it's 40-60?
Yeah, I'm not. For some reason, I just have a bad feeling about this. And it's nothing against him. I think he's a very tough guy, but I think there might be a little bit more to this than they're letting on. And right now they're playing a little bit of coy because they don't want the Packers to know that they might be going into this game with only one real healthy runner. I'm hoping that he plays because I think if we get Sermon and Elijah Mitchell out there, that it'll change the running back group because we need to be able to run the football on Green Bay. That's important. And you have these other guys, and you don't know what they're going to know. Some of these guys have had 3 days of practice. I mean, Jacques Patrick's had 3 days of practice. That's not a lot to learn in offense. That's not a lot to learn what you have to do in the system. So I think it would be nice to have those two guys. So you only have one other running back, which you have Kerryon Johnson. You could bring it from the practice squad who understands the offense. And then you could roll with Trenton Cannon as the fourth guy in case there's an injury. What it changes, though, is if Elijah Mitchell doesn't play, then you got Trey Sermon. But then you've got Kerryon Johnson. You've got Jacques Patrick, and you got Trenton Cannon. So it's a different room. That's going to be a big difference. But do I think the 49ers still can be successful in the run game, even with this group that they're going to put together, whether Mitchell plays or not? Yes, I do. Because I think Trey Sermon can have a lot of success against the Packers defense because the Packers defense is not very formidable on the front line. It's not like any of the front line guys are big and physical. They're not Brandon Graham. They're not Cox. They're not Hargraves. They're definitely not. There are opportunities for the 49ers to be able to move these guys off their spot, and the 49ers offensive line is very successful. They're very good. Mm-hmm. Alex Mack has been good all year. Laken Tomlinson and Daniel Brunskill have been very serviceable to good. And then the two tackles have been great, especially in the run game. I mean, they've been fantastic. And Mike McGlinchey's playing better in the past than he played in 2019. Right now, he's trending the right way,
and they can't even argue. You can't argue.
No.
I mean, the amount of clean pockets that Jimmy Garoppolo has is due to the increase in and improved play of Mike McGlinchey at the right tackle spot.
Yeah, second best to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So the 49ers are going out there and taking care of business, and you know what their strengths are. Now, they got to be able to run on this Green Bay defense, but the Green Bay defense is something they've been able to run against pretty much as they want. The difference is going to be you don't have Raheem Mostert, so you don't have the whole shot potential. You don't have Elijah Mitchell, so you're losing, well, maybe don't have Elijah Mitchell, so you're losing a little bit more of that speed. But 10, 15-yard gains are still there for Trey Sermon. They're still there for these other running backs. So the 49ers can scheme it up, and I think they're going to attack them on the outside like they always do. They're going to go after them early and often. The Packers are going to come out in their 3-4, so they're going to have 5 guys on the front line. Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith come up on the outsides. And the 49ers are going to count on the guys that they always count on, those offensive tackles, and then Kyle Juszczyk and George Kittle to go ahead and set the edge and make it so Green Bay struggles. And as long as they do that, they're going to be able to push guards and centers to second level to pick up these linebackers. The 49ers have opportunities to create big creases and big cutbacks, and they have opportunities to move the football. And if they do, that's going to make it easy for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's going to make it easier for pass protection. The 49ers can win this game.
Absolutely. They definitely can win this game, especially if the run game can get going and can get dialed in. Mosley, Kinlaw, Armstead, all questionable, all had limited practices. I don't think that they're not going to be playing. I think they are definitely trending towards playing still. Despite that, there haven't been any downgrades. It's just they're limiting their reps. Fred Warner didn't have a practice today. Neither did Trent Williams. A lot of key guys gotten either no practice today or limited practice time in today. They're trying to keep them fresh. They're trying to keep them healthy. I think if there was an actual concern with Armstead and an actual concern with Kinlaw, they would have been downgraded to a DNP. And there probably would have been a conversation from Shanahan to the media about something about what their status is. At least, maybe, things aren't going. Everything is pretty much clear right now for those guys. I think we're going to possibly see the debut of Emmanuel Mosley, which is great for the defense. But before we get any further into that, and I want to jump back to the point you just made about the run game and how important it is to get it going and the fact that we're not facing the same front. We're not facing the same defense. We may see the same front, but we're not seeing the same players in that front.
Skill set, yes.
Absolutely. 100%. Skill set completely changes. And I expect this to be a big bounce back week for a guy like Kyle Juszczyk, who last week had a lot of great plays and great blocks, but also on some key runs in which a lot of guys hit their job. He didn't make the cleanest or the best block in the world. So Kyle Juszczyk could clean that up this week, right? Shore up that blocking first level and second level at times and really make the running lanes and the running opportunities for these young, inexperienced backs a lot easier. If he has a quality game, and a much better game than he had against Philly, and he didn't have a bad game against Philly, but an even better game against this not as talented Green Bay front, the jobs for the running backs become very, very, very easy. Because if Kyle Juszczyk's making his blocks, making it very clear and apparent to the running backs, hey, I'm turned this way, I've sealed off this running lane for you, take it. It's going to make a lot of holes bigger. It's going to make their vision easier, right? Because you can clearly see what Kyle's doing and where he's pushing this guy in space. You don't have to make a judgment call or a guess. You can just get the ball, follow your fullback, and go hit that thing as quick as possible.
They do that. I mean, almost to a fault. Yeah. They follow the fullback. They read his numbers and they trust Kyle Juszczyk to make the proper play. And usually he does it, to a very high level. There's not a lot of plays that he misses. But when you're going against a team like the Eagles, it's a little bit different. But don't get it twisted. This Green Bay defense is not the Eagles. There is nothing about this Green Bay defense in their 29th rank against the rushing attack that makes me think they're going to be able to stop San Francisco in this game. I think that early on, they're probably going to make these young backs prove it. But they're not going to wait that long. 1-2 series in this game, they're going to creep one of those safeties up, Amos or Savage. Probably Amos will be in the box.
I would say.
Trying to stop, the 49ers run game. And then Jimmy's going to have opportunities to go down the field. And I look for Jimmy to be successful in the intermediate, area. But I think they're also going to have shots down the field this time. Deep shot Jim is back in a big way because I think that they're going to slip up. There's going to be times that they're going to try to jump onto Deebo Samuel because he's been killing everyone. And George Kittle and Brandon Aiyuk are going to get singled up. And when they do, those are the opportunities where he's going to be able to strike. So I think there's going to be a lot of cool matchups in this game, but I don't have any faith in the Green Bay secondary. I don't have any faith in the linebackers, and I don't have any faith in the defensive line. So basically, I have no faith in their defense or their defensive coordinator, Barry. He hasn't proven yet that he can do anything.
Talk about awful. Awful scheme, awful game planning, awful design. I mean, really sitting back and letting Jared Goff have 1,000 years in the pocket in the first half. Baffling. Absolutely baffling. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, they scored as many points in that first half as they had through almost 4 quarters against the 49ers, right? The Detroit offense, I was like, oh my, Dan Campbell's got something over here. No, he doesn't have anything because the second half they put up a nice fat goose egg.
Well, yeah, the circumstance caused them to put up a fat goose egg.
Correct. I mean, there are a lot of mistakes, a lot of other issues and things of that nature. But look, the big thing is for me is Green Bay's defense hasn't shown anything. Like you talked about, Barry hasn't shown that he's great at design or scheming things up. And it's a very vanilla milquetoast offense over there with Detroit. Barry. That isn't the case here in San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan doesn't have a vanilla milquetoast offense. And the best part is through the first couple of weeks, Kyle Shanahan's been able to be kind of a little bit closer to what vanilla would be, right? I mean, I haven't seen any crazy run schemes or run plays from them. It's a lot of inside runs, some traps, a lot of sweeps, a bunch of sweeps, right? And it's been up to opposing teams to slow it down. The Eagles did a great job with their front last week in week 2, but they have the front to be able to do that without having to overextend or put too many guys in the box. They could front load with 5 to 7 guys in the box and keep everyone deep on the second half of the field and really make the 49ers play underneath because of their front 4. Green Bay cannot accomplish that. They're not going to be able to do that with the names that they have. And they don't have the speed on the edge that Philly does have. So if the Niners can get to the edge on sweeps, if they can get the outside zone going, Kyle Shanahan may be able to get the vertical run game going later in this game, second half, things of that nature, because you're going to have to. If you establish that outside edge early against Green Bay with that lack of speed, they're going to have to widen out, extend the field, corners. You're a little bit more focused on the run now. You can't just match up and play man, right? Maybe a little more zone action, which leads to success in play action, which means Tyler talked about, right, mucking up the middle of the field. Well, if you're having to take your corners and ask them, hey, safeties, hey, we need your help in the run. Our guys can't do it. We can't protect the edge. We need you to help set that edge. Well, now play action becomes a real big problem. Good luck trying to muck up the middle of the field when you're too worried about an outside stretch run look to the right. And you have to be able to sell, bite, right? Make sure you contain that first. Oh, he's pulling. It's not. Well, now you got to get back into your drops. Deebo Samuel's 8 yards upfield already. Brandon Aiyuk's 10 yards upfield. George Kittle's already running down the seam, showing a post. Both safeties are running over. He's going corner back the other way. A nice PC action across the middle. Wide open, Jimmy. throws it on a dime. I mean, those things, we've seen those things against Green Bay before. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened.
No, and you have DBs that don't tackle very well.
That too.
So now that you have DBs that don't tackle very well, number one, that's not good for the run game because these guys got to all be active against the run. 49ers have great receivers that can block, in the run game. So there's an advantage there. Stokes is not very physical, so that's a disadvantage for them. Then you couple that with the fact that they can now run those screens, and those guys aren't good at tackling. So now you get Brandon Aiyuk. If he gets past the first guy, okay, good luck with that. You get it to Deebo Samuel, let him do what he does. George Kittle. There's just too many advantages for the 49ers. I see that there's a huge mismatch between the 49ers offense and the Packers defense. And I think that you're right. The vertical run game comes later. The vertical run game is what seals the deal for the 49ers because I think that by the third and fourth quarter, they're just going to be able to jam it down their throats, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, impose will, and win the football game. And as long as you can do that and the clock keeps rolling, Jimmy's not going to have to do a whole lot in the second half, in my opinion. I think this is kind of the way it could go. Because I think that they're going to limit snaps for Aaron Rodgers, and they're just going to really wear down this defense. But it's all about executing early on, getting the run game going early on, and if they do, it's going to create the play-action passes that they want to be able to execute down the field. And when they do, it's going to be tough sledding for that Green Bay defense.
That's right. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be the Madden simulation. It won't be. It won't be that.
No.
We won't be sitting with negative rush yards after a drive or two. That's just not the case.
You know what I have to say about that? Dumb.
Poppycock ant. Madden absolutely screwed the pooch there. Cutback crew, we heard you. You weren't very happy with the sim. I get it. We were trying to just run it once, just one time. But if it's ever that bad again, don't worry. We'll run it again and make sure that we get a more accurate description and depiction of what's going on. But look, offensively, right, that's going to be the 49ers game plan. Try and establish this run early. Try and make them account for this 49ers run game more than just their front 5 to 7 guys. Really try and bring those safeties down, get the corners involved, because if they're getting 8-9 guys in the box for San Francisco, that means opportunities for one-on-one shots down the field. Deep ball Jimmy can take an opportunity as well. And who knows, the implementation of the Shannon plan, bringing Trey Lance in on certain situations, especially when they start packing that box in, Ant, right? They start packing that box in, bring in Trey. Okay, now you're going to have to match up 11 on 11 because we can go read option here, we can go RPO, whatever we want to do, right? And really make you have to account for the quarterback, which means Deebo one-on-one in space, W. George Kittle one-on-one in space, big W. Brandon Aiyuk one-on-one in space, W. Trent Sherfield one-on-one in space, W. And if it's the right guy, Mohamed Sanu one-on-one in space is also a W. That's a lot of W's, Ant. And that doesn't even mention Kyle Juszczyk. That doesn't mention Trey Lance one-on-one in space. Probably a big fat dub as well, because these guys just don't have the speed defensively to slow this Niners offense down.
No, they don't. And that's going to be the issue all day. Is when you just look across the board, 49ers offense, scheme, coaches, personnel is a matchup problem for Green Bay. Green Bay's
coaches.
Green Bay's not built to be able to beat a team like San Francisco. And that's why, besides last year where everyone was missing, where the 49ers showed up with the JV roster, there is no opportunity for Green Bay to win usually. So I'm curious, this defense hasn't been able to stop the 49ers. 37 points in 2 games, each game in 2019. I think you can see 30-plus points go up again. And, people will talk about Mostert in the NFC Championship game, but during the regular season, Mostert wasn't the one going off, and the 49ers still executed and put up 37 points. You had big plays from Deebo and George Kittle. So the 49ers, their offense works very well against Green Bay's defense, scheme-wise and everything. And I think Green Bay's taking a step back. They don't have Zadarius Smith. All those things play into it. So 49ers, I'm expecting a big number on offense.
Big, fat, huge number, but from offense to defense, right? 49ers game plan on offense, pretty simple. What things they want to do, your strengths, how to attack. Defensively, though, questions. Because I would say that their biggest strength is Aaron Rodgers, obviously, and Devante Adams. And one of the big question marks is this 49ers cornerback room. If Emmanuel Mosley is back, I feel a little bit better. I feel a little more comfortable. But that brings questions, right? We talked about this yesterday. Who ends up starting? Is it Josh Norman? Is it Deommodore Lenoir? What can the 49ers do defensively against Davante Adams, against Tunyon, against Aaron Rodgers to slow this pass game down and potentially, right, potentially slow down the run game as well? The good news, right, for the 49ers, Elton Jenkins looks like he isn't going to play.
Yeah.
So now the left tackle who's replacing Bakhtiari is out himself. And Tom Armenti talked about how they're going to rotate essentially now the third guy. An interior guard is going to move out to tackle. Then they're going to move a guard from one side to the other side and then bring in another guard. You're talking about 3 players moving to fulfill one need. Do the 49ers even need to worry about the secondary?
You always worry about the secondary. So it's going to be about confusing Aaron Rodgers, or at least making him think an extra second. But really, it does come down to this defensive line being able to show what they can do early on. If they can get home to Aaron Rodgers and make it 3 seconds, around there, that he has time to throw, there just won't be opportunities to get down the field. And once that happens, then you can run more press. You can get up on these guys. You can make Devante Adams have to battle the entire time. If that is the case, then the 49ers won't have to worry about their secondary. If Aaron Rodgers is able to buy time, or if this pass rush isn't able to get home, then you have to worry about the secondary down the field. The longer that they have to cover, the worse. The worse it's going to be. So their game plan for Devante Adams, I think, will adjust as the game goes on and by situation. Expect for this guy to get bracket covered on third downs. They're going to be on him. They're going to make sure someone is around him. They're going to pay him all the attention. They're going to make these other guys beat them. Because I think one-on-one, you're not worried about, Josh Norman or Deommodore Lenoir or Emmanuel Mosley against Alan Lazard or, Scantling or any of those guys. You're just not worried about it. Randall Cobb, K'Wan Williams will lock you down. With Robert Tonyan, yeah, he's good. But I'm not seeing a matchup issue where Fred Warner can't cover him in the red zone, or where Jaquiski Tartt and Jimmy Ward can't cover this guy out in space. It's not something that worries me. Azeez Al-Shaair and Fred Warner can handle Aaron Jones out of the backfield. So to me, our matchups, once again, we have good matchups. Yes, there's concerns a little bit about the corner position, but I do feel comfortable with the experience of Josh Norman and Emmanuel Mosley. And if they're the 2 guys that were rocking out there with K'Wan Williams when it's nickel time, I'm good with it. I think I'm okay with these guys. They're both physical. They're both going to be able to understand route concepts and be able to get into the right positions. And I'm not as worried about it as I think I would have been, because listening to John Lynch talk about, that they feel comfortable with their cornerback position now on KNBR, and he talked about Norman and Kirkpatrick, that they're really not interested in bringing in another corner right now, that they have who they need, they have who they got, and they're feeling good about it. So that makes me feel good about it, because that is a defensive back that is telling you that this defensive back room is fine.
Yeah, that's important. That's huge. That makes you feel good inside, and it makes you feel real comfortable inside. But yeah, back to your point of it's going to fall on the front. The front is going to have to get it done now. There's no excuses. You're not facing last week's team, so that at times last week in week 2 against the Eagles, there was concerns about maybe a lack of pressure, or just the amount of time that Hurts had, or the avenues in the lanes that he had, and guys not maintaining responsibility. Well, you got Aaron Rodgers this week, so you don't have the mobility. You don't have to worry about that. It means you can have guys be a little bit more risky, right, and take a little more chances coming inside on moves to get to Aaron Rodgers and create issues and create problems.
Yep.
That's number 1. But number 2, you're facing a depleted O-line. You're a healthy D-line. You got all the pieces. Everything is going your way and in your favor. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever why this shouldn't be an absolute dominating performance from this defensive line group. I already called in the preview show, right? I said 6 sacks. Elton Jenkins, that was before Elton Jenkins was officially out, right? And I thought, it's still early in the week. Maybe if he's not playing, and you could see a record number of sacks in a game, because this D-line is healthy. This D-line is motivated. They're ready to go. If you're moving one of your better interior guys to the outside now to recover, because Elton Jenkins, let's not forget, folks, Elton Jenkins was a guard. He was their starting guard on that team next to Bakhtiari. So Bakhtiari out, Jenkins moves out, they move a new guy in. Well, Jenkins is now out. They're going to move that guy. We're talking about on that left side of the line potentially 2 third stringers. 2 third stringers on the left side of the line. I'm calling it right now. Don't be shocked if you see a Bosa, Ebukam, Bosa, Ford pairing on that left side of the D-line. I can see it. I can see it right now. Kyle Shanahan, DeMeco Ryans just licking their chops going, oh man, please get in the third. Please get in the third and long. Please get in the third. Aaron, LaFleur, be scared on 1st and 10. When you run that ball and it gets stuffed, be scared to want to drop back and pass on 2nd and 10, and instead try another run play where we can create a run blitz situation, put you in a 3rd and 12, and roll Dee Ford with Nick Bosa on one side of the line out there with Armstead, right, and you can throw Ebukam on the other side. Holy cow, Ant. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I want no part of throwing the football in this game. And who knows? Maybe that's something they do. Maybe they throw a little bit less, especially early in this game, to try and really establish the run and protect Aaron and not let these 49ers defensive linemen just pin their ears back and go. But if you do that, You're basically counting and banking on your defense, right? Getting stops and keeping this game close. I don't know if they can do that, but man, I would love it if Green Bay comes in, gets a little fearful, right, and tries to get away from passing situations and passing downs.
Where it really gets scary too is the run game for the Packers. You're adjusting a lot of different guys, and you have to build chemistry with this offensive line, and there's no chemistry now, especially with the shuffling. And you're talking about guys on that side. It's not just Nick Bosa, but now Kinlaw is going to be there. DJ Jones is going to line up over Josh Myers sometimes, head up over the center. And we've seen his arm over. If you watch the film breakdown, that arm over that him and Armstead have been pulling off this year has been absolutely fantastic. They've been taking advantage of it, and I'm telling you right now, Josh Myers is susceptible to it, especially on the arm he's snapping with. You just take advantage of that, part of the game. So these guys can be successful and stop Aaron Jones. Your key matchup was Fred Warner versus Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones might not make it to Fred Warner.
That's accurate.
Because these guys are about to eat up front. They've already been impressive against two offensive lines that are way better than Green Bay. Green Bay's tried to put it together. They've tried to make it happen. They tried to replace Lindsley and Bakhtiari. It's not there. And this defensive line is going to be rotating. Kentavious Street has played better than he's played his entire career. I mean, this is the best he's played. And you have a nice rotation of other guys that can come in, whether that is Arden Key, or now Kerr. He's going to be able to play in this game.
Oh, man, I forgot Kerr's act. Oh, my Lord.
So run stopping early on and downs. Yeah, Green Bay's going to try to get it going. But don't be surprised if at some point you just see Aaron hucking and chucking, and they're just 4 or 5 wide receivers, and they're just trying to take advantage of the 49ers secondary, and this defensive line is able to pin their ears back and go. And with how loud this crowd is going to be, with the faithful coming back for the first time, Aaron Rodgers' Green 18 stuff is going to be a silent count.
Green 18, Green 18.
It's going to be Green 18 running for an 18-yard loss because he's going to be in a lot of pain because this team is coming for him. State Farm can't help this guy. Nobody can because this defensive line is coming for him. I am curious how many sacks they get. 6 is a lofty goal. I would love that to happen. I've seen a lot of people predicting that now. You definitely started that because people have been saying 3 for Bosa, 3 for Ford. If at any time that starts happening, it's going to steamroll out of control, and this 49ers defense is going to absolutely just demolish Green Bay.
And Rodgers is going to be out of the game, and Jordan Love will be in because if he starts taking a beating, there's no way that coaching staff is going to be like, yeah, Aaron, why don't you just stay out there and get beat up? Just get beat up. They're going to let the younger man go in there, Jordan Love, who maybe has a little bit more ability and can afford to take a few more shots.
More ability to
run.
Okay, thank you.
Scrambling.
Okay.
The scrambling.
Yeah.
Not ability in terms of actual football play.
I've actually seen him throw the football.
Not that kind of ability.
Okay.
Leg ability.
Thank you.
Right? He's young.
Yeah. You're right. He can run.
Not as many miles on the old tires over there.
Yeah.
Right?
He can run, but he can't hide.
He's also definitely more aerodynamic because of the hair, right? It's a little bit more contained. It's just,
I think Green Bay, too, when they find out this run game can't be successful early on, is going to try to run these quick screens and get the ball out to Devante Adams.
That was going to be my next point.
Randall Cobb, these guys out in space and make these 49ers secondary players tackle. The good news for us is we got a lot of good tacklers out there, and adding Norman and Mosley back to the fold, Norman last week and then Mosley back to the fold, they can both tackle really well. Mm-hmm. And if it's Demo, he can get it done as well.
He can.
These safeties are very good at tackling, so I feel comfortable with the matchups. I mean, usually going into a game, you have a couple areas you're like, really, when it comes down to this game, the area that I'm most worried about is just Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So if I feel that way, I'm guessing D'Amico Ryans feels the same way, and they're going to do their best to not always bracket him, but do it at key moments and key times and try to take his advantage away. And if you do that, then it's going to make Aaron look other ways, and I don't think that's good for them.
No, not looking away from Davante Adams or coming off that read quick because there's nothing there. That's a negative, bad thing. Opposite of good. Not great. And look, that's going to be my thing, right? If this happens, the run game gets shut down, you're in 3rd and longs, you're in 2nd and longs, and things of that nature, the screen game is going to be the thing that can save you a little bit for the Packers because it can make those D linemen not be able to just pin that ear back there playing that guessing game now. What am I doing? What am I not? Here's the good news. In the last few weeks, when the 49ers have had screens called against them, you know what I don't see a lot of? I don't see a lot of the D-line flying upfield and going after the quarterback. There is a great recognition from this group, all 4 guys. When a screen is happening, they can just tell by the release, they tell by the leverage what the line is doing, and they're all over it. they're not chasing after a quarterback, man. They're scraping down the line towards where the ball's being thrown to space, towards running backs, towards the outside screen. Bosa and Kinlaw a couple weeks ago in that week 1 game on an outside screen, literally, as Goff takes it and plants that back foot, they're both already on the way, on the move. Same thing this last week against the Eagles. So to Quez Watkins on one of them. Both of them scraping down the line towards the ball. Bosa is about a couple inches away from getting his hand on the ball. As these guys get more comfortable, as Bosa gets his feet back, those are the types of things, Ant, that you're going to see, like flashback to 2019, that rookie campaign where he had that pick against Carolina.
Yeah,
on the screen.
One of the TCC actually predicts a Bosa interception in this game.
It could happen.
Yeah. So, and you know what? Arden Key also knocked the ball away against Philly on the screen pass.
Dude, it's nuts. Yeah. Literally, all 11 guys at some point have made some sort of play already this year. They've already done something that makes you go, man, wow, this is an impressive group. But it's why this coaching staff felt the need to keep all 12. All 12 guys needed to be kept for a reason. And the best part is the 12th man, right? We haven't even seen the 12th man because he's still on the exemption list.
Yeah.
He's still going to be coming back at some point in time. And when he does, he's going to get a lot of run. Jordan Wilson is going to get a lot of run with his group because he's going to be the fresh legs.
Well, he also could be better than Arden Key right now.
That's scary.
He's got a lot of talent, and his ability was being put on display during the preseason. Like, he was getting a lot better. He plays with leverage. And he plays low, and that's something that Bosa does very well. But now Jordan Willis does that very well. He's going to add a very nice aspect to the 49ers game. The question is going to be who will be out. Who will be that guy? But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to get after Aaron Rodgers. They're going to collapse his pocket. Armstead and Kinlaw playing on the inside at times is going to be fantastic. They're going to collapse his pocket top of Aaron Rodgers. He's going to want to get outside, and as long as Ford and Bosa keep him in the pocket, it's just going to collapse all around him. And that is a terrifying feeling, and hopefully what you're doing is getting Aaron Rodgers to look at the pass rush. If he starts glancing at the pass rush and not with his eyes downfield, you can beat him, and he'll force footballs. I mean, that throw he made to Robert Tonyan against Detroit was absolutely fantastic, but what other quarterback throws that football? Not very many.
Literally none.
Yeah, not very many. So you're going to have situations where he's going to force things, especially if he's losing. He'll go ahead and he'll take chances. It's one thing that I love about him, actually, is the fact that he's willing to go out there and get it done. But
who did he learn that from, you think?
I'm guessing Favre.
Possibly.
Yeah, Favre.
Good old Favre.
Yeah, I doubt it was Tedford over at Cal.
You mean Brett Favre?
Yeah, Favre. Sister met Favre. Didn't know who he was. Yeah, some Favre guy talked to me. Not exciting. Yeah.
Talk to a Hall of Famer and not exciting.
Yeah. Right after they had won the Super Bowl.
Oh, my Lord.
On the field.
Oh, nope.
Yep.
Nope. Drop kick. That's a drop kick for me.
Yeah.
It's a drop kick right there. Look, this is the key. It's going to be the thing that is built to this. The identity of this team is built on this. But in this game specifically, pressure on Aaron Rodgers, getting that pocket collapsed, taking advantage of this weekend O-line for the Packers, it has to be done. And look, there'll be times they're going to max protect. They're going to do things like that. So when they're max protecting and they're doubling up across the board almost everywhere, bringing that pressure off the edge, bringing those additional rushers is going to be important. And again, keeping Rodgers on his toes. When is it coming? When is it not? If you got to look like a max protect look, that doesn't necessarily mean send pressure, because they know they're expecting pressure, or they're expecting at least to buy some time. Those are situations where you could drop some extra guys in coverage when they're max protecting, because you're only going to have 2 or 3 guys out in space for the rest of that group to be covering. That's a lot. Yeah, the numbers advantage is in your favor. So sometimes it's going to be great to send that pressure when max protect comes, because you can maybe catch them off guard if it comes from an area they're not expecting. But there's going to be other times when they show that max protection, or you show blitz and they check out, or Rodgers checks out to max protect. That's a positive thing for the 49ers, because if you can check out into coverage, right, and just get guys out in space, bracket the couple guys you need to cover and make them take something underneath, or just buy enough time for your D-line to eventually get there. They will eventually get there. These guys aren't talented enough to hold off for 5, 6, 7 seconds. That's just not the case. So if you can throw three guys in coverage on Devante Adams because they kept everybody in with the exception of two receiving options, take the chance.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a change in philosophy from what you saw against Jalen Hurts. When they played the Eagles last week, on every single 3rd and long, they pretty much brought man across the board with a single high safety and just said go after it and get it done. And they made it tough for Jalen Hurts. I think with Aaron Rodgers, you don't do that. You sag your coverage, you drop back, and you rally and make tackles at the sticks. That's what they'll try to do this week. So it is a different change in philosophy. You're going to see a lot more zone coverage this week against Aaron Rodgers. and you're going to see some mismatch things where they're trying to confuse him early in, especially early in the clock, because they want this guy looking the wrong directions. But timely blitzes will come, but they're all going to be timely and they're all going to be well designed, because the 49ers can take advantage of those situations. But you don't want Aaron Rodgers to catch you in one of those. So if he catches you, you're in trouble. So the 49ers will be good to go on this, but I expect the third downs to look a lot different than they were last week, where I think you're going to see Aaron Rodgers be successful on third down, but if it's 3rd and 12, he's going to get 8. If it's 3rd and 10, he's going to get 7. Like, they're going to tackle and rally under the sticks and make those tackles, but we got to be sure tacklers this week.
Not prevent, folks. It's not prevent. It's the sticks. Playing at the sticks.
No, they're not prevent.
Not letting anything get behind you without coverage being there, but not letting them throw balls at that 10-yard mark, at that 15-yard mark, not letting them attack the sticks. If you're going to attack, you need to attack over the top, where we got hopefully the coverage we need, or you have to attack underneath and hope that you can get to the sticks. That should be how the Niners execute this. That should be hopefully the plan of attack. We don't want no prevent.
No.
Get that prevent out of here. Don't try and prevent a win. Let's secure this thing. Let's get a big fat W, and let's run this score up all over the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, a lot of times you tell these guys, plant your heels at the sticks, and then make sure nothing goes behind you, and then tackle in front of the sticks. I mean, that's just as easy as it goes. And a lot of times they'll run these little quick hitches and stuff, 6-7 yards down the field. You just tackle them right there. But you have to make the tackle, and if you don't, then they can, it can change drives, it can change games. So it is important to do that, but it is a different proposition for sure.
That's right, Ant. That's right. Niners hopefully don't need that tackle and fuel, but if you need it, guys, Cutback crew, tag the 49ers players in the Madden simulation. Hey, if you guys don't tackle, this is what's going to happen to you, and let's make sure that's not the case. Madden, you're going to be wrong this week. You're going to be 2-1 after week 3.
Yeah, dead
We're going to get a big, fat W. Let us know what you think about all of this sermon being cleared, the player updates, the game plan for Sunday on offense. Did we hit this thing out of the park? Are we dead wrong? The Niners are going to actually do this? And if whatever it is, let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell, because we still got tons of great content. We got a game reaction show tomorrow. We got a game recap on Monday. A lot of great things, Ant.
Yeah, it kicks off the great weekend, and we're going to get a great weekend with the 49ers getting a win against Green Bay. And then you're going to get a lot of great content coming up, because you're going to get that reaction show right after the game. We're going to be able to talk about it, but then on Monday morning, it's about face-off. It's about, Alex versus Jay Hill and all the conversations that come out of this game. Then you'll get our game recap show, where we get deeper into it and get a real breakdown. A little bit different than reaction show. Reaction's more of an emotional thing, where we're talking about what we saw. Recap is really breaking and getting into it. So there's a lot of good stuff that'll be coming up. And of course, just like always, the first part of the week is all about the game versus the Packers. But the end of next week will be all about the next game that's coming up, and the 49ers versus a familiar NFC foe.
That's right. It's gonna be a very interesting week 4, but we got to focus on week 3 first. Make sure you're subscribed. Head on over to Patreon. You got all 22 film breakdowns over there, so a lot of good stuff, as well as Cutback in Times, fantasy football, Madden playthroughs, as well as a show called Big Yikes, in which we take bad takes from around the Twitter sphere and just about the 49ers in general, and have some fun with it. And who knows, maybe your boy will be on because of some things he said last year about Sean Poindexter. Maybe. We got to find the clip, though, Ant.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe I misplaced it by accident. I don't know, maybe the editor misplaced it. Yeah, we misplaced it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe he did that.
I feel shocked. The other thing is if this is your first time on the channel, go check out the game preview show that we did about Green Bay, where we got into the key matchups and stuff. Check out what's good with Jay in the Bay. He has 5 big things you can expect the 49ers need to do to beat Green Bay. And also a nice conversation and know your opponent with Tyler Menting. So there's just so much content that you can go watch, and get you prepared for this game. You have a little bit of time here, the rest of your Saturday, a little bit of time on Sunday before the game happens.
A good chunk of time on Sunday
especially
night.
That morning before, before 10 a.m., before the game start going. You have time to watch other stuff, and we have plenty of content you can check out. Let us know what you think about it.
Absolutely. You can head over to Patreon and become a GOAT tier member.
Yep.
And have your name featured at the end of every episode. Look at these gentlemen over here. The classic Shooter 37, Frank Saladivar. Cannot thank you all enough, you GOAT tier members. Dropping $16 a month on Patreon. My word almighty. Cannot thank you enough.
Appreciate it. And that's just one of the perks. There's more perks. There's more perks than that, yeah.
Tons, including a Zoom hangout for all of our patrons on Tuesday. We'll see you all on Zoom. That's going to be a good time as well. It's not too late. You can join between now and Tuesday and still have access to that as well. So don't miss out on that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's just so many ways to interact, so many ways to get involved. Green Bay, you're going down. Down. Green Bay's going down.
They're going down now. Down.
Okay,
we did that last year.
Yeah.
We're not gonna reuse.
We're not gonna go through the whole thing.
No. You can go check out last year's preview show in which certain someone gets saved by Batman. But hey, it is what it is. It's a lot of fun. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. Batman, cannot thank you enough saving my life so we can talk smack on the Green Bay Packers this year. Expand the channel in season 2. A lot of good stuff still to come. Cutback crew, until the next one, stay safe.
Remember, the right way is always the 49ers way.